and welcome to Black Woman Things. So, today I'm going to be talking about why I will never move back to Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. If you haven't already seen the part 1 as to why I left, you can definitely click right here to check that out. So reason number 1 I will never move back to Philly is that it's freaking dirty. From abandoned houses to graffiti to actual litter to the smell of human pee to actual human feces, okay? It's only clean for events in Philadelphia. Other than that, they really don't care. Like even downtown in Center City where all the tourists come, it's really only clean when they know like a real big event is coming. I mean, sure they do a better job of cleaning down there than they do in like, North Philadelphia, the hood or something, but it's still dirty, especially on the highways, the graffiti, just the degradation of the structures in general. It's just horrible, okay? And continuing on with that, the roads are absolutely horrible, from the cobblestone to the potholes to the shoddy work that's done in trying to patch up the holes. It's all awful, which ultimately contributes to a whole bunch of freaking traffic. And the traffic... It's so frustrating because not only are the roads narrow, not only is the speed that you can go in Philly short, but there's not that many highways. So when you finally get on there, you're just sitting on there for 10,000 freaking years. And there's always an accident on there. So at this point, it's like you might as well just get on public transportation. But the public transportation is unreliable. It be dirty. And there's so many people that treat the train as their house. Not to mention the crime, which is my next point. I don't want to go back to Philly simply because it's not safe. I mean, growing up there was a lot of crime, but I mean, as the years have gone on, my God. And it seems their response to the increase in crime is just putting in more police. And I feel like that's not the right call. I think if there's more crime, I think there needs to be more resources and more aid allocated to those communities, because clearly there's a lot of crime because people don't have the resources and the aid that they need, which is why they're turning to the streets to get the things that they need to keep their family going. And I don't think this is like a revolutionary idea or something like that. I feel like it's a well-known fact that many parts in Philadelphia is underfunded and communities need a lot more support than they're getting. But as opposed to just fixing it, they're just letting it all go to shit and then using this as an excuse to fund the police more and to have more police, in my opinion. So with all this stuff going on in the city, you imagine it's very difficult to live there and to thrive there, which is why even though it's called the city of brotherly love and we have like the love statue, it's not that friendly, okay? People actively have bad attitudes there. Like, I feel like maybe it's a city thing, but I just think that people are a lot less friendly. Like, smiling at people is definitely weird. Nobody is on top of the morning, Jill. Like everybody is real mean mug, okay? Everybody is really like everyone for themselves, throwing bowls, gatekeeping of information. And that ties in perfectly to when it comes to jobs, because there's so many people in Philly, because there's so much competition. It really doesn't work out for you as the applicant, because if there's a job that, I'm qualified to do, but I'm asking for 40K and you're asking for 30K, but we have, a similar resume, maybe you just need a little bit more training, of course they're going to go with the person who's asking for 30K because they're only asking for 30K. They're going to go where the money is. And if you actually value yourself in the skills that you bring to the table, it's a lot harder to find a job, particularly if you're also in the city where there's so many people just dying to get any job. You're not going to get good wages. And there's not going to be that much opportunity because people are going to get these jobs and then stay there forever just because of how long it took them to secure that job. And if you're having issues with your job, obviously cost of living, right? You're going to have an issue taking care of yourself. And that's another big thing that frustrates me is if you want to live like downtown where like all the action is and stuff like that, you're paying thousands of dollars, and you're getting itty bitty bit of space. And it's like, okay, if you want a little bit more space, right, it's going to be in a less than desirable neighborhood, right? And you might have to worry about your stuff getting robbed, run up in. And so it's like, what is the point? If it's dirty, if it's crime, if they don't have good programs, they don't have good jobs, they don't have a good cost of living, why would I ever want to live there? Why would I ever want to move back there? I wouldn't. Coming back to Philadelphia, I feel embarrassed. Like, even trying to take my boyfriend to places that I grew up at, it's like not the same. Everything just looks so much more dirty, so much more worse, or completely different. There's no in between. It's just as bad or worse as it was, or they demolished it. Now it's something completely different and gentrified. I feel like if I had the opportunity to get a really, really great job that also had a really great apartment or something like that, maybe I will be inclined to move back. But even then, I just feel like no. And I feel like the moral of this story is, if you are somewhere and you're finding any of these issues that I'm talking about, definitely look into moving to a different city, because I promise you, the things you don't like about your city or your neighborhood, all of these issues don't exist every single place that you go. Perhaps in some capacity, but not in as much gravity as you are experiencing. I promise you. I don't really have any recommendations of anywhere to go outside of Maryland, just because I'm in Maryland. I go to DC often, I go to Virginia often, but honestly, DC, Virginia, Maryland, it's all pretty expensive here too. It's just a lot cleaner. I feel a lot safer, but that's another video. But make sure you like this video and comment down below if you agree with any of these reasons why I will not be moving back to Philadelphia. Make sure you share this video with someone who you think might enjoy it. And until next time, make sure you click on any of these videos on the screen, because they're all great too.